A guten Erev Shabbos and a guten Erev Rosh Chodesh. Today's Erev Rosh Chodesh, Elul Be'ez Hashem. Hopefully we'll start little short videos about Sipurey Maasios, and we'll see B'ezrat Hashem how it goes, how you like it, and so forth. So we're dealing about the mice of Melech Shenevda, the lost princess. When you take the whole story as a whole, there's something which is very interesting. The viceroy starts looking for her. He finds a way from the side. He finds her in the place of the not good. And then she sends him twice to a place to sit there and wait for her and long for her. And the last moment, he falters. And the second time, he falls asleep for 70 years, and she passes over him. And she gets down from the carriage, and she laments. She cries everything that went over him, how he tried, and how he failed the last moment. And she writes everything on her kerchief, on the kerchief, which is she took from above her head. She leaves it with him. And when he wakes up, he asks the servant, where am I in the world? So he told him, the princess came and so forth and so on. And all the armies that went before him, how she wrote everything. And he looks at the kerchief and he looks it up against the sun, and he sees all the history of how he tried and he failed and the whole thing. Then he goes on a journey in which he's supposed to look for her now in a mountain of gold and a castle made of pearls. I had a conversation with my wife, Shalashudis, a couple of Shabbos ago, and she told me, take a look at what I've done with my life, where the things that I did well, the things that I failed, and I feel very badly about it. So I told her, why don't you take a look at the story of the Lost Princess? There's a little secret that is hiding in this Maisa. Why does the princess write every single thing that went over him, how he tried and he failed and he tried and he failed? Didn't he feel bad enough for failing? She has to repeat it and write it down on a kerchief and a Megillah that you have to understand it through when looking through, by the sun, which signifies the Chokhmah. Surely he's feeling bad enough for having failed so far. But the thing that is hidden in this little thing is the fact that she's no longer in the place of the no good. With his failures, with his trials and failures and this sorry excuse of a life, quote unquote, that he took her out of the place of the no good. He did. She's no longer there. And now she tells he's supposed to look for her in a place of the mountain of gold and a castle of pearl. And as he goes along, he finds out from everybody, from the animals, from the birds, from the winds, from the biggest sages in Olam, Yitzira, Bria, Atzilus, everybody. These trees, all the chokhmas that not human being, that can possibly be gotten, they all tell him there is no such place. There is no such place. There is no mountain of gold and a castle of pearls. If you notice by the very end, when the master of the winds called all the winds and they all come and they all say there isn't such a place, and he says, I know that there is, there comes another wind. That wind is a Ruach Sa'ara. And he says, where were you? The Memuna says, where were you? And he says, I just carried the princess to a mountain of gold and a castle made of pearls. In other words, the princess got there just when he did. The mountain of gold is out of Margolios. Margolios is made out of marv, merirus, of bitterness, and golios is gilui. And a mountain of Zov, the Zov, Erzitov, and Mivtza Shemagolios, the Meriris, his galus comes to the Meriris. It is his akshonas and his insistence that there is somebody like me can get close to Kodesh Baruch Hu. But look at you. I mean, like, in Wikipedia, under the, when they says, the guy that never made it any which way, not in Ruchnias and not in Gashmias. I'm not a Talmid Chacham. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not the nicest person on earth. None of these things. Yes, but I have a rotzen. I have a rotzen to get close to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and I can come close to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and I can reach the Madrega. All the Madregas Rabbeinu says in Likutei Moharan, tasting the Oragonos, Lamshech Hashgocha, and so forth and so on. Everything can be done with what? With Kisufim. With Kisufim and Retzoinus that nobody can tell me that they're not possible. They say they don't exist. It is true. He created that place with his Kisufim. And with his Kisufim, with his insistence, with the fact that, no, I know there is, and he cries and he insists, he creates it so she can be there and he can get there. I told my wife, look, you were a dancer, a ballet dancer in New York, and I was, Tel Avivian, whatever. We're no longer there. The Shechina is no longer there. She's no longer in New York City Ballet. She's no longer in Dizengoff Street in Tel Aviv. We took her out with our failures. And what we're looking for, look at our lives. We're a story in futility. We are the epitome of futility. No. We are creating a mountain of gold and a castle made of pearls just by wishing and wanting and not looking at how pitiful we might think we are, how difficult the journey might be. It is there. I know it is there. I know this. Baruch Hashem, Kodesh Baruch Hu already gave us Rabbeinu, so we all know that it is there. B'ezrat Hashem. So they'll have a good Chodesh of Tshuva. B'ezrat Hashem, Kodesh Baruch Hu should help. Should all get to Uman and be together on Rosh Hashanah. B'simcha nifla. Kol Tuv and a good Shabbos.